So, Bishop, everything that is going on in this event, first of all, I want you to take a look at these people in this audience for a minute. And I want you to know they came in the pouring rain. That's how you know they love you, man.
Yeah, man.
Because they came and ain't a seat available. It's standing room only now. You come now, you ain't gonna get no seat. But we love you, man, and all of us were praying for you. And I know where I was when I got the news. They told me that you had a stroke. And I don't want to get all emotional, but brother, I was praying.
Man.
And to know that you are back on the keys and playing the way you play.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all, give it up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, man.
take us from the stroke. When you had the stroke, just tell us about that.
Well, I had the stroke back in 2007, and I was, I thought I was pretty healthy. I was working out in the gym. I had these guys over here. They're my gym rats, and they worked me to death. I mean, when I first went in the gym, I couldn't, hardly do much, and this guy over here named Junior, this guy just, Junior, man, he's just like a slave driver or something, man. I be hurting and my muscles be sore and all this stuff, but all of them, they push me.
That's what probably helped bring you back.
Yeah.
You're strong already.
Oh, yeah. But by the time I finished, man, I was lifting about 340 pounds, bench pressing. Yeah. I was doing my leg press, and I was, I could do over 1,000 pounds with my legs, and I thought I was pretty, yeah. So I got up one morning with my wife. I got up, regular day. I got up and I was preparing myself to go to the church because back then I was pastoring a church. I was pastoring the church fellowship. And I noticed that, I couldn't get my speech together. I was having problems with my words, and I thought it was funny, because I was like, what's wrong with me? I told my wife, I said, well, I can't hardly get my words together. And so I went on and got dressed and went to my noonday Bible study. And so I was, by the time I got to my noonday Bible study, I couldn't hardly say anything. So I told my class, I told them, finally got out, I can't teach, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm gonna go to the fire station down the street. I went down to the fire station, let them check my blood pressure and all of this stuff. And so I knew something was wrong, so I called my wife on the phone, and I don't know how many of you all know, but when you have a good wife, you need to thank God for that wife. So I called her and I said, let's go to my primary doctor. I said, because something's not right. And so we went out to the doctor's office, and he didn't say much to me when I first got in. He took all my vitals, and he said, well, he's fine. He probably just needs some rest. And so my wife said, no, talk to him. So he started talking to me, and I couldn't hardly get words out. And so instead of him sending me directly to the emergency room, he sends me to another person to get some more MRIs and all of this stuff. Needless to say, I never went back to him again.
Amen. 'Cause time was going on.
Yeah, time. I only had a 3 or 4 hour window for them to reverse this stuff.
Right.
And I missed the window. And so I had an ischemic stroke. and it was like my brain, they found a particle or something that was blocking one of my arteries to my brain. It wouldn't let my blood or oxygen get properly to my brain. And so it was like my brain was disconnected from the rest of my body. My brain was understanding everything, what people were saying, but when I got ready to respond, it just wouldn't do it. So I don't know if you all really know, but for a musician that done been playing for 30-something years, most of you all know me from Allen and Allen. Y'all know we was national, we were on television, we were doing everything. We won Stellar Awards, and I don't know how many people know how hard it is to win a Stellar. We won 2. And God blessed me. I traveled all over the country. I traveled all over, halfway around the world, in Europe and Switzerland, in Israel. I've been, and then get up one morning and you can't play. I was devastated. So, I was crying every day. Yeah, me, big old me. I was crying every day, and I was asking the Lord, I said, God, what did I do so bad that you would take away my gift from me? What did I do? And so God wasn't saying nothing. He was quiet. And I remember the old preacher said to me, the school teacher doesn't speak to the students when he's giving a test. And so God was testing me. And it was about 1.5 years later, God spoke in a still small voice to me. He didn't say, Bruce, this is God. No, it was just a still small voice on the inside of me that said, Bruce, if you trust me, I can do more with what you have left than what you had before. And I was happy and sad at the same time. I was in a state of ambiguity because, I was happy God said what he said, but then I was looking at where I was. And so I began to practice. I began to, and all of those, friends that were around me, when I was, I could play and I could do talk, and all of those friends went away. I only had one person. His name is Corey Johnson. I don't know if he's here. But Corey was the only person that came over to practice with me. Week after week after week, practice with me. And God brought me, listen, this happened in 2007. 2019 was the year that God gave me my first song. So 12 years, it took 12. I wasn't instantly healed like, some of y'all, Lord, lay hands on. You lay out and I'm healed. No, wasn't it? It was progressive. It was progressive healing. And God was teaching me things that wasn't necessarily physically affected in that time. And it took 12 years before God gave me that first song that we played for you called Come Back. God gave me that first song. So that's a short story. I know I might be a little long-winded to y'all, but that was a short story of 12 years of God progressively healing me.
Well, a lot of people have strokes and don't even make it back to live.
Right.
You living And you here on stage tonight, playing very well. So, that 12 years, is somebody at number 12 too?
Yes, sir.
12 months in a year, 12 disciples. Come on, that's prophetic. Now, that's them numbers. Don't y'all play that, by the way. Don't y'all play that. Give me the box straight, please. I want to bring someone up, if we can. Real quickly. Gail Kemp, are you in the building?
She's right here.
Gail is here.
Come on, Gail.
Gail is on duty. Gail ain't playing. Assistant Chief Nurse of the Veterans Administration. Put your hands together for Miss Gail, y'all. Come on through, Miss Gail. We ain't got no insurance. Your fault, that's what it is. I'm gonna let Gail get the mic. Gail, I would like for you to tell the people, if Bishop don't mind, some signs of a stroke and how you know if you're having a stroke or someone that you know and love may be having a stroke. And whatever you just told him, you tell.
Like Bishop said, I'm Gail Kemp. I am a nurse. I've been a nurse since 1988, and I was a member of pastor at church fellowship, worship ministries, and led his health ministry. What I whispered to him, can I tell him when I first got to you when you had the stroke? So First Lady Renata had called me, and she said, hey, I hate to disturb you. It was about 7 o'clock in the evening. I said, no worries. She said, where are you? I said, I'm headed from hospice. She said, what? We had just put my mom into community hospice. And she said, I wouldn't have bothered you. I said, that's okay, God got it. And she told me what happened with Bishop and said that he was at Bible study, just what he said. I said, in my head, I knew he had a stroke. I said, I'm on my way. So I diverted myself, went to the house. When I got to Bishop, his normal self with me is like, hey, girl. He didn't come out as a hey, girl. He just said, blah, 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 blah. I said, okay. I said, Bishop, you had a stroke, or we're going to go to the next phase, because we passed the window phase for the medication. That's 4.5 hours to get you from the symptoms that you have a stroke. So what is a stroke? A stroke is just an interruption of a blood flow to your head, whether it's a clot or it's a hemorrhage or bleed in your head. So that's what a stroke is. So what you want to remember is be fast. Be fast. Be. If somebody's walking around and their balance is off, that's one symptom. It's the B. Okay? So the E is your eyes. It's not your mom looking at you telling you to sit down. If the eyes is drooping, one's up, one's down, that's a sign of a stroke. Okay? F is fast. It's a face. Your face is drooping, my scowl is twisted, my face is going to the side.
All that happened to me.
All that happened to Bishop. B, fast, F-A, was A, arm. So arm, it can have numbness, tingling, but most of the people drop things. You know, pick it up. Say, oh, wait a minute, and drop things again because your arm is weak. So that's the effect of the arm. Okay, thank you. Where we at?
S.
S. What is S? Speech. So it's slurred or it's slow. One of the two, slurred or slow, and then you babbling, you get nothing out. You can't make sense of whatever anybody is saying. What's next?
T.
T. Time. Time is essence, 911. You got 4.5 hours. Once you get to the hospital, we want 60 minutes in order to do an assessment and get you to the CT scan to tell if you had a stroke, where it's called bleeding in the head, or what Bishop had, which was a clot in the back of his head. So by that time, when Bishop's saying he's crying out, Bishop's arm is twisted. It's gone. So I said, listen to me. It's just memory. You got to do the same thing over and over again. It's memory. When you said that Mr. Corey came to your house, memory. You got to play. You got to be able to get up, and you got to be able to push through this thing. So PT, OT, speech therapy, occupational therapy is what Bishop had to endure, but it took him a long haul on it, but he made it through. So what are you going to do? Be fast.
All right.